Hey guys, this is Fridgey. I've got a bit of a sore throat, so hopefully I sound okay. And especially with my New Zealand accent, that might be a little hard for some people to understand. Um, Today I'm just going to be doing a little introduction to the map Lost World, or DM13, Q3 DM13, as some people might know it. It's commonly abbreviated as. And then afterwards I'm going to be dueling Ale, but that's going to probably be in a separate video. So what I'll start out with saying is I've got all my notes written down over here, but my first little piece of advice that I just have to emphasize before anything is I know some people get tempted off spawn, they'll spawn here or something and they'll just see the rockets and they won't see anybody there and they'll just say, oh crap, I better run out and get it because it's the first weapon I see, and that's like the worst thing you can do on this map, and that happens to every beginner. They'll just see rockets and off impulse they'll just rush over, grab them, and well, they won't even grab them, they'll die by the time they get over here because some guy will be with LG and he'll just kill you. And a lot of the time with noobs and beginners, that's the first thing that really happens to them. They go on this map and they'll lose one frag just by being out of position, and then that'll keep on happening and they won't ever get a weapon because the guy will be 200 and you know he'll have full control of all the armors and all the weapons and he'll never get out. So just please learn to just get off the rockets immediately off spawn. So just like a brief notice, I'm just going to be talking about the main weapons on this map, and the three main ones I'd really consider would even be, besides the obvious rocket launcher and lightning gun, would even be the plasma gun. Because sometimes you're not even able to get into the lightning gun room, and by the time you're in the lightning gun room, you're either trapped, you're probably trapped and you can't really get out. And I'm going to be showing you a position where you can do that to your opponent later, and it's right over there. And Strengths likes that position a lot if you see him play. He's done his own little guide, but it's not really an introduction, it's not really explaining everything through, it's more like him playing and just showing you how he plays, and that's what I'm going to be doing after. But yeah, so plasma gun on this map, what you can do with it is if you're out of control and you can't really get a gun without dying, this position over here in this yellow armor kind of +5, and this is one of the four main areas which I'm going to be talking about later. But if you're in this position with plasma gun, you might be able to go through here, pick up that, and you've got yourself a little bit of a stat because you've got 15 shard, I think that's 25 health, and you've got 25 armor up here. So you've got like 65 stack, which is decent. It's like a yellow armor. It's not great, but if you manage to get this without dying to a trap, you've got a decent stack. You're not able to push out or anything, but eventually you might decide, okay, when my opponent's not over here, I can go get this, and now I have 100 and 150, and I can maybe push out or just try hold my opponent back. And that's really what the plasma's for. The plasma's kind of like your intermediate gun. And I wouldn't really emphasize it as strongly as I'm making it sound, but it's a good gun for just making sure you have enough damage output to push your opponent back so he can't really finish you off immediately off spawn. It's just the gun which prevents all of that on this map. And if you're on higher ping, you're able to push it a bit more aggressively and do more damage, and that can be your way to getting this rocket instead of having to go straight over there. But yeah, the lightning gun's very good mid-range on this map, and what you can do with it really is just if you're outside and you're in a position where you can't really your opponent's out there equal stack or maybe a little more, and he doesn't want to take the risk of losing control because he's been in control for a couple more minutes, he might decide to pull back. Or if you've got like that yellow closer to you than him, you might be able to push him back and make him decide, oh crap, I need to plus back for a moment. I need to make sure I get the next two major items because I'm in a better position for that than you are. I've timed them for the last 2 minutes and you're not 100% certain as to when they're up. So that can be kind of why. And then if that's the case, you might be able to get rockets. And from rockets, you're able to use a combination of LG and rocket spam, and you can spam many different areas. The YA trap I was talking about before, you can sit here, spam down there, and then come over here every once in a while and make sure you kill the player. And with some players, you'll notice they go one exit more than the other. Like, I know some players, and I'm not going to name them, who go here all the time. And I know some players that go through here all the time. And all the beginners tend to go through here. It's good to mix it up. But a lot of players also go through here all the time and go straight to RA. And that's just an immediate trap. So don't do that either. But when you have rockets, it's just mostly the goal of spamming out certain areas, making sure once you're in a defensible area and you're contesting for control, he can't push you through a corner which you don't suspect. But now with that all being said, I'm going to be talking about the main areas. So I'd say the first main area is outside, and this is in no particular importance of order. The second main area is kind of this bit and down here. I'll just call that the upper YA and plus health area, the health area. And the third major area is above mega health and these shards, but these shards I would associate more with this area as well. But just above mega health, because this is an area people tend to forget about a lot, and once you're up at the higher level, you can use it for a lot of tricks and people not suspecting you. And I'd say the fourth and final major area is up over here at the LGYA, and this can be easily trapped. So when you're over here, you can just, when you're outside, you've got full control. You're just trying to figure out, depending on your last opponent's move, which area he's moved into. And most likely it's gone through here, up that bounce pad, but you see less of that at the higher level. Well, you see a lot of that, but proportionately less than you do at the lower level. And up here, you see a lot more of this at the higher level, going up here and trying to trick your opponent. He's just come from mega health. And he can also rocket jump up there, and I'd recommend that, and I'm going to talk a bit more about that later. So if you're up here and you're wondering where your opponent is, based off your last opponent's moves, you can often figure out where he's been. If you've heard him around here, he might go up through this bounce pad, and you can come over here. He might jump up like this, and then you can shoot a rocket when he goes around this corner. Or if he doesn't, you can keep your head back out here if you don't hear him. You can shoot a rocket or come over here. It's really dependent on the situation and what you figure out. If he doesn't come up for a while, he might go down below and come back up over here. Another possibility is he comes around here, and this is kind of the doorway of death. This is like a really common area where people get trapped at the lower level. They'll rush past here, and this is really renowned for just getting trapped, even if you suspect it at any level, because it's such an important area. Because I talked about how this is the gun you need before you can really guaranteed get a rocket or something like that, and not even if you have this, you can get a rocket. But a lot of players just tend to, when you're in control and you hear some guy coming around here, you know you can just kill them with rockets pretty easily, because it's not much of a big ask around that corner, and it's just perfect for the person outside already. So that's like another one of the key reasons why people say this map is very favoured for when you're in control. But if you know what you're doing, you know how to fend that off, and you know how to avoid those situations. And that's just from taking your time, making the right reads, which if you play enough, you know what's right, you know to go through there and trick your opponent, and maybe take those if you're smart, and you just know your place. The second major area is over here, and this is kind of like a stack up or avoid your opponent area, but there's quite a lot of traps when you're going for these armors. Down here it's not so easy to trap, because there's no real reason to attack to be around here. There's no resources beside this ammo and that health, and that ammo is very important. And Once you get these resources, you just try to stay as safe as possible and plan your next move. If you're going up here, or if you're going over here, or if you're just going to wait and see where your opponent's going, and you might wait down here, or you might just slide over to the shotgun, go above, and see if your opponent's there, or try go over here and not through that route, but try here where your opponent is and see if where he's trying to trap if you're out of control. Outside, I can't remember if I've talked about it too often, but it's fairly obvious, really. The only area you can really attack is down here, or if the person's just got mega health. And so this is the only area where you might attack someone on even health, but this is like kind of an area where you kind of want to avoid if you're out of control, but some people might sneak and get that RA and see if they can run away fast enough. But unless you're on even stack and you want to contest for this, or you want to push your opponent away, it's not really an area you really come out for enough if you're out of control. Otherwise you just die if your opponent's out here all the time. And that's what I was talking about at the beginning. Just don't come out here. Above here, this is like a real key area. If you get mega health and you're kind of understacked, or you just want to make sure you get a high enough stack before you push out, you can just take this defensive rocket jump and see where your opponent is, and you don't really have to rush, or you can trap somebody if they're not suspecting you for that jump, and you can do a lot of LG damage. You can also do this rocket jump to yellow if you think they're there. Shoot a rocket down there and come back to this position. Or you can do a rocket jump above here. If the guy challenged you below and you think he's going to come up here, you can shoot a rocket, take that jump, and then shoot a rocket over here, and then go back over here. Or you can also go back over down here and rocket jump over there and get that yellow. But it's really dependent on the situation. But mostly, the most understated point, which most people forget about, is out of control. This is really a forgotten area which people need to utilize and think about more. Because if you're just using this area to come back out of control, well, that's fine. You can get your stack, but you don't really have any unpredictability about you. Your opponent's just going to outstack you, and eventually he's going to catch you out at one of the choke points where you need to get a weapon, or you need to do something, or if you just wait long enough, he's going to wait until he's 200 and you go around the wrong corner, or you make a mistake and you're just going to die, and he's just going to push you once you have no weapons and you've just lost the game. You're going to lose 10 points there, and you have no chance for a comeback. So basically, this area is an area you need to use if you're out of control and you want to come back. And you can also use LG up here if your opponent's out here, but you don't really want to use that too much. If you're lower stack, you'd rather have the element of surprise, or not. You'd like to not be known where you are, and just really just keep yourself safe. But if you think your opponent's trapping you, you can walk around here, shoot a rocket if you see him up there, or you can have your rockets out, and if he's up there, you can shoot a rocket, then run back or something. Because not often do they suspect. Like I said, this is an area where people trap you from. If you think that he's going to be out here, he's not going to expect that you know. So if you shoot the first rocket, you have this whole surprise and confusion element that he's not going to suspect, and you might be able to shoot an easy 100 damage rocket and back off. So yeah, besides that, I'll just say a few jumps like this you need to learn. That's very good. Besides the other easy ones I've shown you, this is like the only one that comes to mind right now. Oh, this isn't really a hard one, but just making sure once you go up here and you want that shards, if you want them, just to press plus forward. And besides that, the only other one I can think of, and I can't really do, all the time, well, most of the time in fact, is one that I've seen Backstein do a lot, and he learnt it from Scoot, and Rafa does it some of the time now, is he does this kind of jump and bounces back up there, but I can't really do it at all. So don't learn that from me. You can search Backstein's dm13 trick jumping videos on YouTube. He also does a lot of these crazy grenade jumps, but I don't think they're as important really. And you can jump up there or something from it, but they're quite dangerous if the other guy has an LG and he's mid-map, so I wouldn't really recommend that. The only other things I can really think about is you can trap, like I said, most people at the lower level do this a lot more than at the higher level. They'll go up here and they'll go up here too often, and it's quite predictable. So you can LG it if they go up, you just wait. When you hear it, you can come here, and he'll keep on pushing up and down the jump pad, and you'll shoot 80% lightning gun and you won't be able to do anything. Besides that, I'd just say you don't want to always go back there for LG, and you don't want to always... Once you've got rockets, you're generally in control, or you can play at the corners where you're not able to take too much damage. So I'd say the two important ammos on this map would be that LG and that LG, and the next important would be that rockets, because once you've got rockets, you probably have LG already, and you're already able to push corners, and it's kind of harder to run out. But if you're just remembering to spam everywhere, it's not too much of a problem. Sorry, ammo might be a bit of a problem, but really I think the LG is the more important ammo. And that concludes my kind of introduction to this map. I'm going to be doing a duel versus Ale in a moment, but yeah, that's all I really have to say.